The sun is peeking through the clouds in the last couple of minutes. It's great to see. So we might get a full week's cricket here, Kyle. The weather forecast is set fair, which is great.
Let's not get carried away, John. But certainly, yes, the forecast for today and Wednesday are certainly very good. Friday a little bit iffy. And I'm looking forward very much to seeing Andy McBride bowl today.
Captain of the Northwest Warriors. Lead Provincial Series here in Ireland. Lee McBride, 25 years of age now, really came into the Irish consciousness really during the 2015 in Australia and New Zealand. Bowled very well there. He's got one slip in. Paul Sterling from Zazai early on. It's gone square the wicket. A bit too much width. That's going to pull up short, is it? No, it's just going to trickle over the ropes. Despite Tim Murtagh trying to cut that off. And it's another boundary for Afghanistan.
Yeah, bowling a very attacking line. Keeping a slip in. Trying to get that outside half, outside edge. But he's just offered, it's more the length that's the key there. It's just a little bit too full, which has allowed Gilbert the need to slash that through point off the front foot. And Ireland want to just rein these boundaries back in.
On 17, slip's gone out. Sterling coming into extra cover. Just protect that offside.
That's a much better length. He's just dragged it back. A little bit slow off the surface, making it difficult just to work it into that gap of square leg. Gary Wilson fielding very effectively at mid-wicket.
Runs. It's a partnership of 42 deliveries. Two openers are gone. Janet and Zazai. Zazai in debut. 14. That's the last ball of the 14th over. Afghanistan have advanced now to 57 for 2. Overs gone. Afghanistan put into bat by William Porterfield, who won the toss. Decided to have a bowl this morning. And Afghanistan at 25 for 2. 57 for 2. Peter Chase to continue then from the commentary box end. Chase had 1 over on the City end, but decided to bowl Andy McBride, the spinner from that end, hit by the wind. Small enough crowd in so far this morning. With the prospect of a full day's play, hopefully we'll get more in as the day continues. Now for the Civil Service Cricket Club here in Stormont in Belfast, the first of 3 ODIs.
Excellent fielding there from Vanderbilt Burney in the deep. It's a curious decision to make. Certainly as a spin bowler, I personally prefer to bowl with the wind, make the batter hit down the ground and hit into it. I know a lot of spinners who like to bowl into it, that encourage that little bit of drop, made it a little bit harder. But against these Afghans, I think they're powerful strikers of the ball. They're asking their fast bowlers now to go into what is a fairly stiff breeze, bowling in towards the city.
Stifled appeal from the 2 fielders. He's got the slip in. Peter Chase. Peter Chase, 24 years of age now, from Dublin. Plays with Leinster Lightning. Interprovincial series, the first class Championship in Ireland. 3 formats of the game. And Ireland, of course, needed to have a first-class structure to get what they have now, which is test status and full member status, of course, of the ICC.
Yeah, it's still in its infant stages. We playing 4 teams in the 2020, and then just down to the 3 sides in both the IP50 and the interregional 3-day competition. But certainly it's going to have to become a breeding ground for future internationals. No question of that.
Yeah, with restrictions that will be coming in English cricket as well, Irish cricketers perhaps might not get the same opportunities to play for county sides. That really has been the breeding ground over the last couple of years, hasn't it, really, for Irish cricket. So you're right, it has to be the Interpro Series to produce our future internationals.
Yeah, you know, the breeding ground, I would more likely refer to as the finishing school. You know, the guys were picked up, they've come through the system, they're very talented, but county cricket has played a vital role in developing international players for Ireland, no question of that.
Way to Andy Balbirnie. That's the end of the 15th over. Afghanistan 59 for 2.
Overs gone here. Afghanistan 59 for 2. Both the not out batsmen, Ramit Shah number 8 and Gulrahman Naib number 14. 18 not out.
$59 for 2. Andy McBride to continue. Actually have a drinks break at the end of this over. 17 internationals between these sides, stretching back to their opening game in Rotterdam back in 2010. It's a game that Ireland won by 39 runs. 9 wins to Ireland, 8 to Afghanistan. The 2 newest members of the ICC, or the full members of the ICC now. Afghanistan will be playing in the 10-country World Cup next year in England. Ireland, from their point of view, sadly not there, having been beaten by Afghanistan by 5 wickets in Harare in March. That winner takes all Super Sixes game for a place in the World Cup. Ireland had graced the world stage at World Cups in 2007, 2011, and also in 2015. Big win against the West Indies as well. Won 3 games there. Almost qualified for the quarterfinals, but it won't be there next year. It's a big bone of contention in Irish cricket. That's why the ICC have reduced it to 10 countries, when the rest of the governing bodies around the world, like FIFA, are expanding their World Cups. The ICC decide to contract theirs to 10. It's a major shame. It's a major source of embarrassment and annoyance, of course, I know, from Cricket Ireland's point of view. Simi Singh, the fielding.
The Afghanistan have done it a little bit better this over. If you look at the ticker tape along the bottom there, the 3 singles in a row, there have been an awful lot of dots in the previous 3 overs. So Andy McBride with a unique field here at the man at the straight mid-on. So trying to just press Ramit Shah.
Down the ground, a shot over William Porterfield's head. And that's gone for 4 to end that 16th over. And at the end of that and the drinks break, it's Afghanistan now on 66 for 2.
the first drinks interval here in this Gulrahman Construction one-day international between Ireland and Afghanistan. Afghanistan are 66-4-2 at the drinks break. Rahman Shah 23 not out, Gulrahman Naive 20 not out.
Bold spell, taking the wicket of Danger Man Zazai with 1 for 16. So the key now for Chase and McBride are to keep the pressure on and to try and eat into the wickets column as best they can.
Here's the wickets.
First wicket of the day. Had already had Zazai dropped it slip, but just staying leg side of the ball got steep, and the leading edge carrying through the semi-sing at cover, much to Boyd Rankin's obvious delight. And then Tim Murtagh, the old man, very nimble, taking a neat return catch to dismiss Janat. The ball maybe just sat in the pitch slightly, and at that stage you can see Captain William Porterfield very pleased. And as the workers in those who are in the Stormont buildings in the background have been starting to get their hopes up at that stage. But Ireland now have been a little bit sloppy in the last sort of 7 or 8 overs, and we'll be looking to exhibit a wee bit more pressure, having had a drinks break.
A bit cloudier here. Quite a strong breeze whipping across the ground now. You can see the trees bending to the wind's will. The chase is going to continue now. The commentary box end. For 12 so far in his 3 overs, Peter Chase. Good figures without being really threatening. Noticeable there that William Porterfield, during the drinks break there, Kyle, got Ireland together in a huddle, so he's obviously wanted to have a few words about perhaps some of the feeling, and he's been guilty himself, unfortunately, of a bad misfield.
Yeah, I think he'd just be reminding the guys to keep the standards high, keep the intensity high. It just has looked a little bit flat since Rahman Shah has come to the crease. William looked a little bit pensive. He'll be keen to keep nipping out wickets to continue to keep that run rate at bay.
William Porterfield blowing hard on the hands. Just a bit cooler out there with the sun disappearing. Wonderful summer that Ireland had. Slowly disappearing, but thankfully dry for the first of these 3 ODIs. Second one on Wednesday. Thinking for William Porterfield to do. Ireland still not in a bad position. Oh, it's nicked and it's gone past the dive of Niall O'Brien, and he applauds the bowler, but it was a big nick all the way along the ground. Niall O'Brien just couldn't cut that off, and it's gone all the way to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, Peter Chase trudging back to his mark. He's just bowled a little bit width, and the danger man Rahman Shah has just got a toe end, and the ball hasn't quite carried to the the sprawling Niall O'Brien. I just wonder what he'd have had to say about that in the commentary box, John. Would he have been borrowing Mohamed Shahzad's gloves again as he did during the last week?
Probably. Just couldn't get across in time. Just didn't carry though, really. It was a decent ball from Chase. Just tempted the batsman, but it just didn't carry to O'Brien. Or Gary Wilson is now standing at first slip. See him in the background there.
Interesting to see Kevin O'Brien warming up at mid-off. It looks like a pitch that could be tailor-made for him.
Chase just trying to dig that in. Applause from Gary Wilson. This was the huddle in the drinks break.
Yeah, William Porterfield, certainly by his body language, is looking pretty animated. You know, trying to round the troops up there and make sure that, you know, the preceding 5 or 6 overs had been pretty sloppy. A few overthrows, a few misfields, a few 4 balls. So from William's point of view, he'll want to try and make enough pressure to try and create a mistake from the Afghan batsmen.
Kevin O'Brien with the fielding, and at the end of 17, Afghanistan 73 for 2. It's a good rebuild so far between Gulrahman and Rahmat. Rahmat 28 of 26. Gulrahman a little bit more circumspect, but he's playing the anchor role at the other end. 22 not out. Afghanistan were 25 for 2 at one stage. McBride continues. Paul Sterling is going to struggle to cut that off. Does well. Just collects it inside the boundary ropes. Prevents the 4.
Yeah, Andy McBride straying a little bit on the leg stump. This Gulrahman has got that fine sweep out. Paul Sterling chasing hard. Looks to have saved the single, to save that 1 run.
Checking to see whether Sterling put his foot on the boundary ropes. I think they're okay. 50 partnership between this pair. It's 52 off 64. Rahmat and Gulrahman taking Afghanistan on from 25 for 2 to 52 for 2. The 18th over. Stifled appeal. Just trot through for the single. McBride's bowling so far. What do you make to it?
Just for me, just seems to be struggling a little bit to find the pace to bowl on the pitch. That for me is the perfect pace, line and length there. Here's an LBW shot from 2 balls ago. Close. He's just come across. Probably just umpire's call.
Oh, that's in the air. That should be out. Leading edge. And Ireland get the breakthrough they wanted. And it's Andy McBride who gleefully takes that catch for Ireland. and they needed that. As these two were just starting to get on top, trying to work it into the leg. Big leading edge.
Yeah, that's the big wicket of the danger man, Ramad Shah. He's reluctantly leaving the pitch. Seems to have just sat in the wicket. He's got a leading edge and it's lobbed to Andrew Balbirnie at cover. And a much needed wicket from an Ireland point of view. Ramad Shah departs for a run of ball 29. Afghanistan 78 for 3.
Was caught by Hurley. Paul McBride for 29.
Shahidi, who's the new batsman after
Batsman for Afghanistan is
the dismissal.
Hasmatullah Shahadi.
The previous over. Hasmatullah Shahadi, 23 years of age. Here's the wicket again.
Yeah, ball's just... It didn't seem to sit in the wicket too much, but a very relieved bowler to see that ball taken at extra cover. And immediately what we can see now is Simranjit Singh being brought on now at the Dundonald Road end. And perhaps the fact that the new batsman, Shahidi's a left-hander. And, you know, Gulrahman is quite sedate, 25 from 46. And Shahidi there at a strike rate in one-day internationals of just 57. So perhaps now Ireland are going to look to try and squeeze in these key middle overs. Just looking at Kevin O'Brien here, he's at long on. He must have about 4 layers on. If he's cold, how's it going to be for these Afghanistanis?
Indeed. Tim Murtagh looks very good. It's 1 for 19. And Simi Singh, 31 years of age, born in India, declared for Ireland. Made his debut in one-day internationals last year, plays for Leinster Lightning in the Interprovincial Series. It's his first ball here in Stormont. Ireland will be buoyed by that wicket. Fielding by Gary Wilson. It's a nice little partnership there of 50-odd from the last two. But it was an important time for Ireland to get that wicket. That's words between William Porterfield and Simi Singh. This is the wicket again.
Yeah, Ireland would be really relieved from the point of view that Ramad Shah had scored a run of ball and it looked extremely comfortable in doing so. So that's a massive wicket, very important wicket in the context of the game.
After that discussion between Simi Singh and William Porterfield, they decided to get Sim to go around the wicket to the left-hander.